How about let's isolate as a photography lockdown challenge theme? How could you interpret isolate? It's kind of topical this year, isn't it? And last, for that matter. Photography lockdown challenges are creative challenges based around a theme to help you grow your creativity. Of course, you need to know how to use your camera, but it's this thing up here which makes interesting pictures. If you'd like to join in our free challenges and have some fun, click the little thing popping out above me right now. Come find out all about it. So isolate. What could that mean to you? How could you interpret isolate? There's the obvious one of kind of feeling lonely and shut off from everyone at the moment. But you could, of course, isolate something within a photograph. What about isolating something in a happy way, not necessarily just with connotations of COVID? I really kind of like the light which is going on over here. There's a little kid's scooter been left against the wall. I'm just going to see if I can isolate it by using a long lens and a shallow field of view. Let's have a look. I can't even find it. There it is. If I put my glasses on so I can see and let the bell finish bonging. They obviously did that because I was filming. They thought, we're going to mess Browne up, we're going to make it bong. Here we go, video. Look, we have got that little scooter over there leaning against the wall by my camera bag. But look, if you start to sneak in with a longer lens, you could start to lose all that messy background if we raise the camera up a bit. Look, now we've kind of got a far more isolated scooter, haven't we? It's amazing what you can do just by changing your focal length. I'm going to take that picture and see what happens. Look, so we focus on the little scooter. I kind of like the light. I like the fact it's all surrounded in grey. But of course, if you try to take the same shot from lower down or with a wider focal length, look how kind of more messy the background is, how that bright area interferes with it. See if we can find another way to isolate something in a picture. A little clump of yellow daffs down there, look, that are sort of hiding in amongst all these little purpley, lilac-y coloured flowers. I don't know what they're called. Comments below, please, because I am not a botanist. How could we do this? How could we isolate them amongst the other flowers? Well, I'm going to use my flippy out screen because I do love a flippy out screen. My thoughts are to put them right in the middle of the composition and sort of look straight down on them. So without crushing too many flowers, I'm going to sort of stand in here, get my camera up above. I've only got my 18 to 55mm lens. There's no depth of field to think about, is there? So take the picture. Well, we have got that splash of yellow going on amongst the others, but they're isolated, yes, but it's a very boring picture, isn't it? Why is it boring? Well, the sun's climbed quite high in the sky. If the sun was lower, it might be better. If there were more little lilac-y flowers around them, it might be better. But how about a different way of doing it? How could you interpret this in another way and isolate some flowers? Well, what about if we looked through in between some flowers and kind of isolated them, you know, amongst their brethren? Well, to do that, what sort of focal length would you need? A long one, wouldn't you? So let's change lenses, because a longer focal length is really great for isolating things. You can use a shallow depth of field with a longer lens, and that will really, really make things stand out. Now we need to go where there's not quite so many. They're a bit thick here, but look at that end there. There are far fewer flowers. So let's go over here. Let's see, and I like the thought of backlighting with the light coming towards. So that would mean going down there and looking maybe this way through the little flowers. Come up here, let's get a bit closer and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to zoom my lens long and set my aperture wide, because a wide aperture is going to give us a shallower depth of field. So I'm going to go for the widest aperture in the shop, f4.8 at full zoom on this. Let's have a little look. There's two little ones in the middle here. Let's see if I can find them for you. Let's see, if I look down in here, I'm going to put the video on, see if I can find them. Here we go. Well look, you see now there's one isolated already, but it's not that exciting. How about if we come down, let's see, it's not in focus. That one's quite nice. Oh, look at those two little heads there. It's okay, but it's not great. Let's go that way. Oh look, those two, they're like brother and sister, aren't they? There is a little shot of two little flower heads isolated amongst their brethren. So flick it onto photo mode and focus up. Exposure looks pretty good. I'm going to reduce the exposure a tiny bit because I want to make sure the colours are really great, well saturated. So I'm going just a little bit lower than my light meter wants, and look at that. I don't like that petal sneaking in on the left, so I'm going to turn the camera to the right a touch. Make sure you carefully focus up, and there. That's quite a nice little shot, isn't it? It's definitely isolation. Now, how you choose to do it yourself, how you choose to interpret this theme is of course entirely up to you. The key is controlling your camera to make the shot interesting. If you don't know how to control depth of field, why focal length affects depth of field, why the long lens is so much better for isolating things than a shorter, wider one, click the link up here. I've helped thousands of photographers just like you master their camera skills, and I can help you too. Click up there, find out how. The hashtag for this week's challenge has been on screen throughout. These are the dates by which you need to upload your pictures to the album and the corresponding live feedback session and announcing who our creative winners are. I look forward to seeing you in that session. PLD challenges are supported by people within the group by small donations. Just the cost of a cup of coffee a month, £3 a month, can help keep these challenges going, can help pay the wages of Shannon, who is operating the camera, and the time it takes to do it. I would really appreciate your help, as would everybody else in this amazing community we've got going. I look forward to seeing you in the live judging. We're going to be looking at how you can interpret the theme isolation. Be well, take care.